Hey, we're back at the topic again today on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon. This is now week number 20, and because of the big news on June 2nd, I'm rotating things around because since the biggest news is on Thursday, June 2nd, I'm actually going to have the news episode there, which leaves the speculation one moving to Sunday. So, we have another speculation lane video. If you are ready for this, well, get ready because I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit late. I know it's been done by everybody else, but I wanted to get my hopes, predictions, and possible ideas out there for all the possibilities for the Sun and Moon starters, you know, Rowlet, Popplio, and Litten, because it's Litten. It's going to be lit. That joke is terrible. Let's just move on! So this is how it's going to work. We're going to go over 3 different options for each starter. The first one will be the popular opinion on what the concept may be. The second one will be the one that I want to see, and the third one is the one that most likely will happen. So with that, we're going to start with Rowlet. And of course, I'm going to throw up concept art onto the screen out of my mouth so you can see it. Of course, links will be in the description for every art I use. But with that, like I said, Rowlet's the first one, and the popular opinion most likely I see is Grass Flying. It remains the Grass Flying type, and of course, honestly, it's better to keep it Grass Flying, honestly. Well, not if you're an Ice type, yeah, it's better, because then Ice types can just completely just freeze it back to the Ice Age, but it's the most simplest. You don't have to get crazy with the design, and just keep it simple, stupid. It's pretty much just that thing. So the what I want to see, of course, is, well, you keep a Grass Flying, and the funny thing about that is you're gonna see a Griffin right here. If you saw my top 10 normal types improvements video, you will I said that I really wanted to see a Griffin because, of course, flying types are just normal flying, so that's why I included a flying type in there. But so I've seen a lot of Griffin concept art for Rowlet or Rowlet. I keep calling it. Oh no, it is Rowlet. Oh, okay, I thought I mispronounced it. But I've seen a lot of it, and it looks amazing. But the one that I tend to see people going with that it most likely will happen is, I believe, Grass Ground, which is kind of depressing because you have him Grass Flying and then you have him perch on the ground. I know that there's owls in Hawaii that are kind of grounded owls, but that would be such a letdown. I mean, not for Ice types. They get to run train on the either type combination either way. So, but just to not have it a grounded owl. Then again, all the flying types, bird starters have been grounded. So, hey, what else is new? The most popular opinion for Litten I see is a Fire Dark Kitty, and that honestly would be pretty cool. I see lots of comparisons with Houndoom, but that's not necessarily like a contrasting between Houndoom because one's a cat and one's a dog, and they're both Fire Dark, and that doesn't really make any sense. It'd be better if it was Fire Water, but Fire Water Cat or Fire Water Fairy Water, they both start with F, but a Fire Fairy Water Cat doesn't really bode well because cats don't like water, so it's not really making too much sense. The other things that I see, the other thing I want to see actually is a Fire Poison cat. That would be kind of interesting, but very offensive if you look at it honestly. Because if you have Fire, which is a very offensive type, mixing it with Poison, which is also a very offensive type, because you don't really see many bulky Poison types or defensive walls that are Poison types, unless you go that with an Eviolite. But I digress. And that would be a very awesome one, especially if you see, look at this concept art, it looks amazing, especially when you see this one, because this is the one that most likely is going to happen at this moment. I keep that in mind, it's at this moment, this is what it seems like things are leaning to. Of course, that leak either making Rowlet Grass Ground or Litten Fire Ground. Of course, cats don't like water. This definitely kind of proves that with it being quite effective to water, and that is no bueno, honestly. But I mean, look at this thing. This thing's like throwing up lava, or is it drool? Most likely drool. I would not want to clean up after you. I don't even want to know what comes out the other end. Popplio, the last one. The most popular opinion I see is actually a combination between myself and the popular opinion, because it's actually both things. I see a lot of people wanting fairy water, or rather water fairy, and so do I. I mean, look at this. It'd be elegant. It'd be pink. It'd be awesome. Like, look at this. This thing would be like such a thick thing to deal with in battle, because it would just be so bulky and elegant. Have I mentioned elegant yet? But what's most likely going to happen because of those leaks is water fighting. At least, honestly, just think of it this way. Just hold out, hold up. At least, it's not on Litten, the fighting type. Because if it was, I would have punched myself in the face so fast that Barry Allen, the Flash, would have been impressed. Because I cannot deal with another Emboar. Infernape was Infernape was okay. Blaziken was awesome. But Emboar, you were the worst. Competitively, you're fine. But water fighting on Popplio wouldn't be too bad. It'd be disappointing because it just has so much experience. It has so much potential to be an elegant water fairy type. That's not a Azumarill, it's a special version, so that would be really interesting, and I hope that it is water fairy, not water fighting. Yeah. And that will wrap up this episode on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon. If you did enjoy, go ahead and drop your thumbs down below the video. I'll return them as soon as I can. And if you want to stick around, because of course we have the news episode on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon week 20, because we have the biggest news on Thursday. It will be at 6 a.m. and soon after I will try to get the video. So if you want to be notified as soon as possible once that goes up, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because we have a lot more to get to on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon. We have 44 weeks total. That's week number 20. 24 weeks to go. Think about it. 24 weeks. I believe that is a grand total of 160. It's not 168 days. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, no, that's not right. It's 168 days plus the extra from the week after, because I'm only counting via Sunday. So, with that, I will catch you back at the top on Thursday for the big news announcement later on, because that is how you do it. Is kick his dog! Kick his dog! Kick the dog in the face! Team Bowl Cut! My goodness, you call yourselves adults? You kids don't grow up to be like these sorry specimens!